Hello, truckers, and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Ooh, there's a... Okay, that's no bueno. Didn't plan that. Need to get over here. We are on our way to go pick up a load from probably another Walmart. I wasn't really paying attention to the destination, but we're going to be heading up to Santa Maria, California, because it's a different place that we haven't been yet. So I'm trying to... Even though they're not... Oh, come on. I did stop. It's a right turn. I'm getting fined left and right in this game because the I don't know. Right turns at red lights are legal here in the United States. There's no reason to do that to me. I must have wandered into the offense zone or something. But anyways, I'm trying to, even if it's not the most high-paying load, I'm mostly interested in just trying to go to different places and start unlocking as many cities as we can. So we're gonna head over here to, okay, so it's an Amazon load. So at least it's a little different. Grab this one of these trailers over here, and we're gonna head up to Santa Maria, California. So let's hop in here, get in the freight market. I just finished doing a rest. Yep, that's what we're looking for right there. I just finished doing a rest, so we should be good on resting, but we may, well, we're probably good on fuel too. Looks like we're probably good on fuel. So let's get ourselves lined up for this. Okay. Let's see, like that. I think it's going to take me a long while to get used to using this flight yoke system to do as a steering platform, because it's not really intended to do that. So even though it's just natural, it's just similar enough to the natural way of driving to convince you that you're good at it, but not similar enough to be super intuitive. So there are enough differences where I still have to really pay attention, and I get a little bit confused sometimes, like turning the wrong direction or whatever. But anyways, I'm still trying, you know, I know I've done several of these videos already, but I'm still kind of trying to feel out how I want these videos to go. I don't necessarily want it to be me talking all the time, the entire time. But I also don't want people to get bored either, so I don't know what the perfect balance of me talking versus just kind of chilling and listening to the truck drive as we go down the road and all the noises and stuff like that. I also don't want to you know, be too loud and oversaturate my mic, and I don't know, there's a lot of different things that, you know, decisions that have to kind of be made, but I guess it's going to be kind of like all of my other videos that I've done so far, where I just do it as I do it, and it evolves into whatever it evolves into, and hopefully whatever the, you know, vaguely finished product that I come up with ends up being something that people like to watch. I guess that's kind of the only way you can do it. So I guess whenever I just feel like there's a long, uncomfortable silence, I'll just start talking about something. But I think I do want to kind of intersperse, you know, chatting with you guys and then just enjoying the view and listening to the truck, because, you know, big trucks sound awesome. Why would you not want to listen to that? Here we're leaving LA. That looks like Fisherman's Wharf, I think. Is it Fisherman's Wharf or no? I think that's up in San Francisco, right? Fisherman's Wharf. Santa Monica Pier, that's what I was thinking of. I believe that's probably the Santa Monica Pier. I believe that's what that was supposed to be representing over there off on our left with the little restaurant and I think I saw a Ferris wheel over there. So it looks like we're going to be going up the coast, which is cool. A little bit of an inaccurate speed limit there. There we go. So let's go ahead, since we're close. Let's get our speed limit, or let's get our cruise control set, and we'll just kind of hang out here in the right lane and hopefully enjoy a nice drive up the coast. And, oh, I need to get over. Make sure I'm not going to run into anybody. I wanted to look off to the left so you guys could see the cruise ship over there, but, oh, don't want to crash. But I ended up having to mess around with that turn-only lane, so whatever. Make sure we're not going to hit anything as we move over, and here we are on the road. Pop up our cruise control up to 50 so we can keep that consistent, hopefully. And here, look at the beach, man. Okay, I don't know that we're going to be able to leave the cruise control on. The twisty roads here are a little bit a little bit much. Actually, I think we're going to stop for fuel really quick. Because we're down to about half a tank, and I'd rather not push the fuel. Oop. I'm still getting used to the brakes here, sorry. Okay, so I need to give myself a little bit of room for the trailer, so that hopefully that... I wish the camera turning was based off of where my controller was pointing and not necessarily where the steering wheel is pointing. So, alright, let's get the engine turned off. Fill up with some fuel here. Spend some of our hard-earned cash on getting the tank filled back up. Perfect. And off we go. Nice and quick. I know there... Oh, I hope that was me just paying for my fuel. I didn't see an offense pop up, so hopefully that's all it was. I know some people have an issue with the fueling system. They feel like it's too quick and easy, and I'm like, well, you know, fueling isn't exactly the most fun part of your drive, and if we can just kind of, I know we need to simulate the expense of it and having to stop off at least having to simulate stopping off the road. But I don't know that I necessarily want a fully realistic fueling simulation for the game, because, you know, that takes forever. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to use my cruise control because I need to be able to slow down. Doing my best to try to stay inside the lines, but okay, we need to turn here. A little bit wide so we can keep that trailer on the road. As I said before, I'm still on the fence about the whole head tracking thing. I do have the the free OpenTrack software that tracks your face. And it works pretty well, but I find that, you know, my body needs to be able to move around a little bit more than it used to have to, and I like being able to kind of move around and stretch without the camera going all over the place, because, you know, it's a face tracking software, not an AI software. It doesn't realize when I'm intending the camera to move and when I'm not. So having the ability to just kind of keep the camera facing forward, and I can like look off into the side, look over, check my recording, make sure everything's looking good, things like that, without the camera yanking over to the left or to the right because I moved my head, is a kind of a nice thing. And I also find that it's very it's much easier to do backing and stuff when I don't have the head camera as part of my control setup there. So I'm leaning towards just sticking with the in-game controls and just hopefully getting to the point where I'm able to where it's automatic. The controls are so automatic that it doesn't seem like I'm even using the in-game controls, where it feels like I'm kind of just using head tracking anyway. I feel like the way they implemented it is such that you could, if you got really automatic with it, be able to make a pretty good experience and prevent the random looking around that you would get with head tracking. So I don't know. You don't really need to be able to look up and down in this game like you do in a flight simulator. So, or at least in like a combat flight simulator, even Microsoft Flight Simulator, I don't feel like you need to look up and down very much. There aren't too many situations where you need to be able to do that, because the planes are set up very much like cars, and you don't really need to look down at the ground very much. And if you do, you can. It's not like you need to track a target on the ground or anything. So let's get out of the way for this guy so he can get over. I don't know if he's going to have if his lane's going to allow him to do that. All right, let's start slowing down here because the traffic's getting a little congested. Try to keep an eye on that speedometer so we don't get that engine brake on. Try to remember to start using my engine brake. I have it set to a keybind on my joystick, but you know, sometimes you forget about that stuff. I wanted to move over, but there's a truck coming. All right, so now we're done going down the hill. Let's get our cruise control set back up. And I don't think the engine brake affects your cruise control settings. So sorry, dude. I didn't mean to drift over into your lane, but I have a really hard time when I'm not in the vehicle controlling my direction and making sure that I'm not, you know, and looking at the mirror. I'm not sure why it's so much more difficult in this game. I have absolutely no problem in the real world turning my turn signal on, checking my mirror, and then, well, I think it's probably because I don't do like boom, boom. Because in the real world, you glance and then you look forward, and then you glance and then you look forward, and then you glance and then you look forward. And this particular view isn't exactly the best. So, just differences between the real world and this simulated world that we're in that are kind of, I don't know. It's different. I don't think we're at 55 on our cruise control because it's not popping back up to that. We don't want this trip to take forever. Really looking forward to getting out of California so we can get to the point where we're not having to do 55 everywhere. At some point, you know, safety has to not be the #1 priority for everything that we do, and I don't think 65 is an unreasonable speed for the trucks to be going down the road. Especially when in the rest of the country they do 65, 70, sometimes 80 miles an hour, and they're just fine. I want to start making sure I remember to. Oh, but you know what? I need to actually make sure I'm adjusting my cruise control. Cruise control and engine brake. They need to become. They need to become standard portions of the way I do this. Nice driving down the coast this way, though. Especially, like, if you've ever been on this road in the real world, it's extremely beautiful. Like driving up the coast, there's a reason why it's one of the major things that people do when they come here, because you know this is actually really very pretty when you get on it in real life. Having lived in Southern California for pretty much my entire adult life at this point, I've experienced it a lot, and I can tell you it is every bit as beautiful as you see here. Every bit as beautiful as they say it is, and this game does not do it justice. Does not even come close to doing it justice. I think they did. Didn't they do a rework of California a few years ago where they were trying to make it a little bit more California-like? Because I think California was the first state that they did, right? California was the first state that they came out with when American Truck Simulator came out. Pretty sure it was, and then I think they went back and did like a graphical pass and a rework of the roads and stuff like that to make it more consistent with the product that they were putting out by the time they got to, like, you know, Oregon and Washington and, you know, all of those states. But even then, I think they probably do, because California is so diverse and very beautiful. They probably should come back and do another pass on this state too, because I'm sure I've seen video of the other areas, and I know some of that is mods, but I think a lot of it is just, you know, the original content that they came out with. What was it? Has it been 10 years since they started this game? I don't even know it at this point. The original content that they came out with was, you know, the original content that they came out with, and that was a long time ago, and things change as you continue, so they do need to go back and do regular passes of their original states to bring them up to the level of what everything else is on probably a more regular basis than I think that they do, because I haven't heard of a California update in a long time. But then again, I also haven't been playing this game very much, so I don't know. Certainly possible. I think we're going to leave the Jake brake on, because we're outside of the city area, and anytime we need to slow down, I'd like to have that engine braking to help out with it. Got 18 miles to go. I think I think I might go ahead and just do another load, and we'll see how the video does with the extra length of time. Because I know for the other YouTubers that I watch, they put out hour-long plus videos for a single run, and I'm like, I mean, I guess that works. All right. I don't know that I want to sit down for an hour plus to watch a truck run, but it seems like there's a lot of other people out there who are. So, you know, the name of the game when it comes to YouTube is watch time. That is what we need to be looking for, because watch time, especially once I get past that 1,000 subscriber mark and start getting ads in here, or at least the, you know, the YouTube channel members. Let's get that Jake brake turned off. I don't want to slow down that fast. You know, watch time affects how many ads are shown, and the more ads, the more money you make. So clearly, I want to make videos that people are going to sit down and watch for a long time. I don't really care about view count. I'd much rather have 500 views where everybody watches the entire video than like 10,000 views and people are only watching like 30 seconds of it, you know? So I don't know. I want to produce content that people are actually going to sit and watch, because that's the metric that really matters. People are all like worried about view counts. Oh, are people looking at my video? Are people looking at my video? It's like, yeah, man, that's not the metric you want. You want average watch time to be very high. So we got to figure that out. So yeah, I think for this one I'll experiment and go past my 30-minute time limit, because clearly if I don't run into the back of this truck first, clearly if I do another load, we're going to be over the 30-minute time limit. But yeah, if I'm going to get another load in there, I have to do that. All right, we turn in right. Okay, and we're turning right actually right here on this one. So let's get another turn signal on there so we can see what we're doing. Get that trailer swung around, and then we'll get over here into this lot. We'll find another load to take. It'd be nice if it's in the same area, but if not, that's okay too. It would be nice to have a bigger GPS unit so that it's easier to see where things are, but can I pull into here? And so I see that there's something here. Oh, they want us to be right here anyway, so the GPS is trying to screw me over. I can just pull right into here, and we can get lined up pretty easy. Okay. Actually, we'll pull up a little bit up here just to give ourselves a little bit more of a better angle, because it wasn't quite turned where I wanted it. So this right here is where I wish I could turn. There was a toggle button to turn off the steering tracking, because when I'm having to switch back and forth a lot, it's really disorienting, and I'd like to be able to just pull forward without having to switch back to forward-facing view. That would be much more convenient. Okay, there we go. All right, that gets this load done, so let's get our results. Oh, hold on. I wasn't looking for current company job offers. I want to get to the job market, because we want to pick the job that's best for us. So we are over here in Santa Maria. We've been to Barstow, Fresno. We haven't technically been to Carlsbad. I kind of want to go up the coast, though. Not nearly as much money, but I kind of want to go up the coast. So let's do that. The GPS is going to have us go a little farther away than where we are. So what I'm going to do is to maintain somewhat of a reasonable video length. I'm going to cut until we get over to picking up this load. It's only 3 miles away, but we don't have something on the trailer, so I'll be back in just a minute. All right, we are approaching the next load that's going to be going up to, was it Santa Cruz? I can't remember what the destination was. But while we were off camera and parked in that parking lot, I did hop into the menu, and there is a keybind to turn off the steering-based rotation. So that's going to be very helpful. So anytime we go into steering mode, I just need to remember to turn that, or anytime we go into parking mode, like in this tight trailer spots mode, I need to make sure I remember to turn that off so that I don't have to worry about the crazy backing stuff. So yeah, we're going up to Santa Cruz. We're going to take this job. Let's go, let's see. I'm going to turn the steering off now so that I don't have to fight it in a second here. Okay, so that's our trailer right there. Let's go ahead and get ourselves turned around over here. Get ourselves back, or get ourselves lined up with it, and then back in. Okay, here we go. Get that in there. Contact. I know that's not the word for it, but. And then actually get into drive there. Kind of helps. Turn on our steering now so we can actually see where we're turning to. Because we want the turn-based steering for when we're driving around town and need to see where we're turning towards and all of that stuff. I really don't want it when I really don't want it when I'm trying to do a bunch of forward and backward and forward and backward, and the camera's messing with me, and it's just kind of irritating and dumb. So yeah. Let's get up to Santa Maria, California. This is a slightly longer load, 195 miles, which means we're definitely going to be well over the 30-minute mark. But, you know, I want there to be enough content in these videos to be worthwhile, and I'd like to make a little bit more progress than what we've been making. So, okay, I think we're good. Try not to hit any of these trucks. I do wish that my mirrors were a little closer into the truck, because when I try to turn and look and see, I can't really tell unless I turn my blinker on, and then my blinker is going to yank my camera over. So I don't know. This is where having the head tracking would be nice. I guess, you know, you can turn the head tracking on and off. The head tracking does have a button you can press to turn it on and off as well, so I don't know. It's probably a better solution than when I feel like we're on the freeway like this and just kind of chilling. I can turn the head tracking off and we can stay in forward-facing mode. So that's probably a better solution than, you know, being forced into certain camera views. I don't know. I'm very indecisive about things when there's no clear solution that in my mind is absolutely better. Like, obviously, if head tracking was just perfect and had no drawbacks and it was clearly a better solution for me than, you know, the in-game camera system, it wouldn't even be a question. It's a very easy thing. And I know that for some of you guys are like, dude, head tracking's where it's at. What are you talking about? There's no difference here. Well, for me, there actually is, because, you know, I need to be able to randomly turn my head and do things and shift my body weight, and because I can't just sit here for 30 minutes and just in one position, unable to look around and unable to move around, unable to twist my neck around, and, you know, the standard comfort things that you do in the car that will adjust what you're looking at, but you don't want to adjust what everyone else is looking at, because what your head does affects what everybody else sees. So that's kind of my that's kind of why I'm indecisive about it. Let's get ourselves up to Santa Cruz, California. Hopefully we can get up to Santa Cruz and find a load maybe going up to Oregon or maybe over to Nevada, like northern Nevada, and we can start getting out of the California area, because as much as I want to make a lot of money, at the same time, I don't really want to stay in California, because it takes forever to get anywhere here. I want to be able to get up into that 65, 70 mile an hour range, and you can't do that here. I gotta say, this game has the World of Warcraft issue with render distance. I'm pretty sure I have my graphics turned all the way up, and we're still having things that are rendering in such a way that they're just kind of popping into existence instead of organically showing up as we progress. That's kind of annoying. tell you, I'm looking forward to getting back to the United States very soon, though. The living in a different country is, even one as close as Mexico, is just... I'm not exactly the most adventurous person in the world. I like for things to be a certain way, which is why I want to, like, if I'm going to travel, I want to travel in my RV, or I want to travel in a boat, so that, you know, at least something in my life is anchored the way that I want it to be. You know, I'll have my boat or I'll have my RV set up a certain way, and I can chill, and I'm in an environment that's comfortable for me while I'm testing my boundaries as far as, you know, going into different places and different situations. And I have to say that, you know, living in Mexico and having things be, you know, different enough that things don't work the way you want them to is not... It's opening my eyes a little bit to the realities of going to different places. And it doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to give up on the idea of, like, traveling around the different countries and stuff like that. But it does make you realize that you're going to have to start accepting certain compromises, because you're not going to be able to have things set up the way you want them to necessarily most of the places that you go. The different things that you want aren't going to be available. You're going to have to learn to live off of different things and deal with people in a different way. And I mean, something as simple as propane, it's great. We live in a house that has propane stove and propane water heater and stuff like that. And it's great to be able to have propane delivered instead of having to yank your tanks off your trailer and then go take it to a propane place and have them fill it up for you. You know, one of my least favorite things about RV life is, and we're actually moving back into the RV pretty soon, which I'm excited about. You know, I love living in my RV, but one of my least favorite things about RV life is propane. Man, propane is an awesome fuel source. It's because it never goes bad, and you never have to worry about it. It's always consistent. It's always going to work. But man, going to get propane filled up is just a pain in the butt as far as I'm concerned. And that's mostly because there's just no self-service options for propane for anywhere, because they're afraid, because you're dealing with a pressure vessel, they're afraid you're going to blow it up. So they want some third-party person there who doesn't have a stake in your propane tank, making sure you're not trying to fill up with a tank that's probably going to explode once you get it up to pressure. And while I can understand that, I'm like, but I really want to be able to just do it like I do my fuel and just go up to a pump and do it myself, because it's really irritating when you go to a place to get propane and the person there is busy and they don't have time to take care of you, and you have to wait for them to come out and fill it for you. That is super frustrating, because you're trying to get things done and now you have to sit and wait for this person to come out and, you know, fill up your propane tank for you. So I'd really like to get to the point. I really wish we could figure out a way to make it so that, you know, we could do self-service propane, and then I can just fill it up the same way I fill up my diesel tank. I can go to the gas station, have my diesel filling up while I go over to the propane tank fill up station and pop my propane tank in there, hook it up, flip the switch, it fills it up to the pressure that it's supposed to be at. I pay for that. I pay for my gas on my way. Don't even have to go inside, deal with anybody. It's, you know, I just wish it could be that way. So, you know, I'm kind of looking for alternatives to propane. I know that there are diesel heaters out there, but I don't know that I necessarily want to have an engine that I'm having to maintain, like another engine that I have to maintain. I have to do oil changes and blah, 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 and things like that for it. So I don't really know if the diesel heaters work that way. I would imagine that you probably have to add the oil to the fuel, have like an oil fuel mixture like a lot of small engines do. Don't really know. I haven't really looked into it that much, but I would much prefer to be able to use a fuel source that I already have to use for my truck anyways, to heat my water and heat my air and all of that stuff. So I'm probably at some point going to yank out the water heater, which sucks because I bought an on-demand propane water heater back when I was still living in my trailer, because, you know, propane is what I've been using. And it didn't occur to me at the time that, hey, maybe we could switch the fuel source out for this. But I'd like to get to the point where I can have diesel heating everything, because that's much more convenient to refill, and I already have to go fill up my truck anyway, so it's not that much more to just, you know, bring a 5-gallon diesel tank or diesel can with me and fill that up once I'm done filling up my truck. So I don't know. I'm probably going to end up doing that, but I do need to look for. I haven't found a. I found an all-in-one system that kind of does heating for your trailer and heating for your water at the same time, but it's super expensive, and I don't know that I necessarily want to have one thing that does both. I don't know. You start getting into all-in-one systems, and then when one thing breaks, now you have everything broken. And I kind of want to have the redundancy of being like, well, if one of the things breaks down, at least I still have hot air, or at least I still have hot water, or something like that. I don't know. It's redundancy is a nice thing to have, and you know, I'd rather not have everything go away just because one thing broke. So I think I'm kind of leaning towards just having separate systems, and then I'll have one thing for my hot water. But I do need to find a diesel hot water heater so that you know, I haven't seen that. I've seen plenty of diesel air heaters, and the cool thing about those is that you can generally figure out a way to connect those into your ducting system for your trailer and hopefully have that work that way, especially if I can get a big enough unit that it'll force it through the vents and everything, and it'll just work the same way as my forced air furnace does. Just blow it through the vents and it comes out that way, and I don't have to do any kind of crazy, you know, changes to the way it works. But yeah, I don't know. Just, it's like everything else in my life. I definitely want to get off the propane, but I really want to figure out an option that's going to work for me. I mean, even if I could figure out a way to get enough, you know, solar and electric to just, because I do want to switch out my rooftop unit for a mini split AC unit, because those are way more efficient, way more effective, and way less power consuming. So if I can get enough solar on the roof, I could run my AC during like the hottest part of the day when the sun is beating down really hard, and it shouldn't really affect my batteries that much either. If I can get enough solar on there where I can be charging and running my air conditioning at the same time, like that's like the perfect solution. Like even if, because you know, RVs just aren't very good at thermal retention. I think Kiewit is where we were going. Yeah, okay. They're not very good. They don't insulate very well, so you end up having to run your air conditioning pretty much all the time, because it cools the air down, but then all of the heat seeps right back in, because there's so many air leaks in RVs that you're not going to get very good efficiency out of the insulation that's in it. So anything where we can basically just run the air conditioning for free all the time would be perfect for us. Okay, well, let's make sure we come to a stop so that the game doesn't decide to penalize me for running the red light. But ideally, we just need to make... Dude, how is that a red light violation? I came to a complete stop. Are we having a bug in the game or something like that? Right turn on red is legal in the United States. In California, that is something you can do. So why am I being penalized for making right turns? That's getting annoying. I'm not sitting for lights at red... Okay, I'll get over it. It's just, that's really frustrating. That's another $500 that I've lost because the game just arbitrarily decided, nah, you're getting a penalty now. Anyways, as I was saying, so ideally I want to switch out my AC, I want to switch out my water heater, I want to switch out my... Oh, where are we going here? I'm guessing it's over here? Oh yeah, I see the little blinky lights over there. So let's, probably should have, let's see here. I need to turn off this so I can actually see what my truck is doing. So I need to make sure I don't accidentally hit that. So can I swing around all the way around? And I'm hoping I can swing all the way around and just pull straight in. What am I stuck on here? Come on. Oh, I don't think I can. It doesn't look like it goes around. So let's back up a little bit then. And then we'll turn to the left and... Well, actually, you know what? I might want to pull straight into that way. So yeah, let's get some speed and hopefully bump over whatever this is that's stopping me. Come on. Come on. Get over it. There we go. All right, and then hopefully we can turn this thing enough. Oops. My bad. Okay, what am I trying to do here? I need to... Nope, not what I meant to do. I need to get this thing turned so I can get it yanked around. But I have no idea. Alright, well, I guess what we'll do is... Yeah, that's not going to work. So we're going to have to pull into the parking lot over here. Oh, into the parking lot over here a little bit and then just force it around. It's the only way this is going to work. I was hoping we could go around the parking lot this way, but it doesn't look like there's an entrance to the back over here, so we're just going to have to back it in the old-fashioned way. Alright. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not going to hit cars over here. Last thing we need is another freaking vehicle hit a fence. Make sure we get around this guy. Hold on. Okay, I think we're clear now. But we are going to need to pull forward a little bit so we can get our angle correct. Should be relatively smooth sailing from here. I want to try to get as close to the corner as I can so I have enough room to maneuver around. But I also don't want to hit the wall, so... Annoying they want it all the way up against the wall there. Okay, that should be pretty on it. This right here is why I like to be able to have my steering camera turned. Oops, other way. Steering camera turned off. But I can just stay in this view here. Oops, stay in this view here, because I don't do that. And then, ideally, I can see what I'm doing, because I find it's easier to see in this mode because the mirrors are so small. Go. All right, so that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. Hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button so the YouTube algorithm knows that you did and sends the video out to more viewers. We want to get as many people along for our rides as we can, so don't forget to do that. Let's go ahead and get some long distance ride. Well, I'm going to do high value cargo. I want to make money. I don't necessarily want these rides to be super long yet. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that now so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your video feed. And speaking of that, channel members get early access to my videos. So click on that join button down below the viewer to see the list of additional perks that you'll get if you choose to support the channel. So again, I hope you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to come back for the next one, and I'll see you then.